Yo, what's up, gang? I want to share something that I think comes at a very valuable time as right now it's March 2020 here in New England. It's one of the most stressful times in most of our lives that many have been alive. This is one of the toughest times you'll go through, being locked down right now, basically moving into a recession. Who knows where this thing's going to go, and many people feel out of control. So I went through, pulled out an old book by one of my biggest mentors, Dr. Sid Williams. This book is called Lasting Purpose, A Mindset for Success. And I like to go through and just pull out some highlights, but this hit me for the first time. This was really cool. Looking back, I suppose it was good fortune that I was born into one of the most challenging times in this country's history, the Great Depression of the 1930s. It taught me the value of money and gave me an appreciation for hard work. I was about 2 years old when Black Monday hit. He goes on to talk about his father and how he was raised, and he goes on to talk here, and this is the title of the book, The Development of My Lasting Purpose Philosophy. I could see now that my philosophical and spiritual development came in somewhat measured steps. Each step preparing me to reach the next one. Each measured step preparing him for the next one. One particular turning point that stands out in my mind is when I was just 5 or 6 years old. I made the choice to emulate my movie heroes and to learn how to throw a knife. Learning to throw a knife correctly and accurately, while learning to be an innate part of the process, was a very important first step that opened many new doors and adventures for me. So he goes on to talk about him learning how to throw a knife, and he was horrible at it, but he was persistent and he worked at it for hours and hours, and going through this depression and this time, it got him doing other things, right? And the hard work, and when he started perfecting throwing the knife, it came after hundreds of hours of practice as a young child. And that mindset he learned through that process of repetition, and getting up and doing it again and failing multiple times until it started becoming an art that he was an expert at, throwing a knife. Now, this guy that wrote this book, Dr. Sid Williams, one of the biggest names in chiropractic, built the largest chiropractic college in the world, was Georgia Tech's one of their best defensive ends of all time. And it started when he was born into the Depression, and the mindset that his family taught him, the philosophy, which he withdrew out of this whole thing, this lasting purpose mindset, to give, love, and serve out of your own abundance, but to do, which is to put in the work, the effort. So you give, love, and serve out of your own abundance without attachment to it. And what a greater time to do that right now, whether it's picking up a toilet paper roll for someone and dropping it off their front doorstep, or just dropping off a bottle of wine to a friend, or just texting someone, calling someone, reaching out to them, saying, hey, how you doing, with no attachment to it. But the to-do part. What can we do in our own lives to empower ourselves to be better? What choices can we make right now moving forward that we're going to say, we're going to change perspective now, so I'm not living in fear, and I'm going to rock it in life, because I'm going to give, love, and serve out of my own abundance to the highest level, and I'm going to crush it. So don't give up, keep the faith, turn the crank, and testify.